So dear students, let's continue with the discussion on IPv6. So one question that was asked in the previous lecture was why IPv6 should be used for IoT. So I told you will get more details in the next class. So here is the answer. So coming to IPv6, it has lot of features in terms of scalability, access, self-initialization. This is one of the main aspect which we are going to see in detail today. A device can initialize its own IP address. No need to wait for any DHCP or any other services to get an IP address. So these are the features which makes IPv6 the best choice for IoT. And moreover, it has got lot of other management features. If you take such an IP address /32, within that it's possible to give additional meanings to the extra bits and have fine level of management on these kind of aspects. Okay, application level management, and you can define different quality of service for different regions. You can apply business logics, etc. So about this and all, our syllabus is almost silent, and we are not going into the depth of it. Only the basic part of IPv6 will be discussed. So if you are much interested, you can learn on your own. That will improve your knowledge definitely. And this slide is already available in the description of the previous video. Okay, now we will quickly go through some of the important features which has SLAC, stateless address auto configuration. So device can itself assign address to it. And what are the features of DHCP version 6? So DHCP, as you might have forgotten, is a protocol for distributing IP addresses in a network, dynamic host configuration protocol for IPv6. So a client who wakes up in a IPv6 network will initiate DHCP v6 commands and gets its addresses, and that is how it communicates. Okay, so this slide shows most of the commands exchanged between these devices and how it works and the advantages and disadvantages. Just go through it. These things will not be asked in your exam. Just you can have some idea, and only when we try with DHCP v6 and server and all, we can understand the more details about it. Okay, so here they are comparing v4 and v6 and how it access. So in v4 the communication is actually a broadcast, whereas in v6 it is a multicast to link scoped address. Okay, so these things we need to understand properly. So if you are really interested in knowing much details about it, you can refer this slide. And for our subject, we are going at a surface level on IPv6, on representation, notation and things like that. Okay, so I suggest you to go through this to have some more confidence in v6. Okay, DNS, how DNS is working with the things. Lot of interesting things are there. So if time permits, we will discuss later after talking to other faculty also, because if we discuss in only one class, that will create problems later. Okay, so I suggest you to go through these slides and understand how IPv6 work, and we will now move to the next part, where the self-initialization, how a device gets its own IP address, or how a device generates its own link local IP address. That is the next thing. So this document explains how the conversion of link local address is done. Now this document is also given in the description link of the previous video. So I request all of you to read this. This is a very short document. We will not require all the 10 pages. So this tells how a device creates its own 128-bit IPv6 address from its MAC address, which is unique 48-bit. Okay, so this is one of the key benefits of IPv6, automatic interface addressing. So let us learn how it works. And as with any internet based protocol, we have RFCs, and I would suggest you to go through these RFCs for the full version of the story. Okay, this is actually a summary made by another person. Okay, now this 48-bit MAC address is divided into two parts: 24-bit organization-wide value and device-wide value, organizationally unique identifier. For example, let's say my network interface is manufactured by Realtek. Then Realtek will have a 24-bit unique ID followed by another 24-bit unique ID for the device, the actual interface card. So first what the device does is, this is the original MAC ID. Okay, each block is 8 bits. So how many such blocks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. So this 6 block is 6 into 8 is 48-bit MAC ID. This MAC ID is what get converted into a 128-bit IPv6 link local IP address. So the conversion procedure is happening in 2 steps. So first step is we break this into 24-bit part and insert an FFFE into the middle. Okay, now this was the original one. Now after adding 2 bytes, that is FF and FE, it becomes a 128 bit. Still our conversion is not complete. We have one more step. Now why it is added? Because this is a reserved value which the equipment manufacturer cannot include in the real UI64 address, so that it helps us to distinguish an address from whether it is a link local address or an original IPv6 address. Okay, so the reason for this FFE insertion can be found here. So you can read here and understand how it is working. For our purpose, we may not understand the reason. Still, you must understand how the conversion is done. Okay, so you can probe further into this. I am not going here and make the video lengthier. So FFFE is added. That is the first step. Second step is to invert the universal or local flag, bit number 7 on the OUI portion of the address. So OUI portion of the address is this. This you have to invert the flag, bit number 7. So this is the bit number 7. So this bit number 7 is inverted. So it becomes, it will be invert the universal or local. If the flag is set, bit 7 is set, it tells us that it is a local IPv6 address, not a universal address which is capable of rooted in the internet. Okay, so this is how it happens. So you, after inverting, your IPv6 address looks like this: 02.127f.ff.ff.eb.6b.40. So this one, see, each block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each block is 8 bits. So 8, not 8, 16 bits. Each block is consisting of, starting from the 48-bit MAC address, we now created a 64-bit value. So this 64-bit value will be used as the link local IP address. Okay, so I will show you another example of this conversion also. So we get the 64-bit part created from the MAC address. Now this has to be prepended with the link local prefix, which is FFE80, which we studied in the previous class. So let us see one such example here. So here we have given a MAC address. Okay, so you follow this example, then you will understand. So as I told you earlier, throw FFFE in the middle. So throw FFFE in the middle. Now reformat to IPv6 notation. So how do we denote it? Okay, with groups of 4 we denote it like this. Okay, now convert the first octet from the hexadecimal to binary. That is, first octet is this first 8 bit into binary. Okay, now invert the bit at index 6 counting from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so not from this side, that is bit number 7, that's what they are in, that will be shifted to 0. Now convert the octet back to hexadecimal. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, up to this you call it as 5 and remaining it as 0. Replace the first octet with the newly calculated one. First octet is now undergone conversion. You get 5074 F2 FF FEB1 and like this. Now to this, now this is not 128, isn't it? To this, if you add the ling local prefix up to this, that is, there is a 0 here also, with that it makes 128-bit IPv6 address. Okay, so online converters are also available. You can verify your answer after the conversion also. So with this we will stop today's class. You can work out the problems like this and also IPv6 based notation problem which I shared in the previous class. So that's all for today's class. Please study this example correctly. I think I made some mistakes in my explanation earlier, but this example is explained correctly. So if you have any doubts, you can ask it later. I am available throughout the end of the session. Okay, thank you.